Hello and welcome once again to Pale Blue Thoughts. Today's episode is going to be a special episode. This is the first time I'm doing a video in both English and Malayalam at the same time. If you want to watch this video in Malayalam, head over to the description section and click on the Watch in Malayalam link. Based on the response, I may also do one in Hindi too for the benefit of all the people in India. I have already discussed over my many videos why the complementary and alternate medicine system called as homeopathy is nothing but a scam. Today, I am going to prove it to you by turning myself into a guinea pig. Let us just go back to our school and college days and you would have done experiments there. Physics, chemistry and biology experiments like measuring frequency of tuning forks, finding the refractive index of light, mixing chemicals to see how they react, etc. Sometimes some theories or concepts are hard to understand and doing an experiment using that helps understand the principles much better. In the same way, some people who are thick-headed still continue to believe in the unscientific principles of homeopathy, and hence I thought I will do this experiment in order for them to understand the concept. So enough of lecture, let's get down to business, the business of dilution. As you may know, homeopathy is all about dilutions. As I have explained in my 3-part series titled Dilutions about dilutions, when homeopaths mix one measure of a material and add it to 10 parts of water or alcohol, you get a 1x potency. Do this 10 times and you get a 10x potency. In the same way, when they add one part to 100, you get 1C, and if you do it 10 times, you get 10C potency. Usually homeopathic remedies like the infamous COVID prevention cum immunity booster cum COVID medicine arsenicum album 30C is diluted 30 times like this. Each step of dilution is followed by a vigorous shaking of the mixture called as succussion. The dilution followed by succussion is called as potentisation, and this is what makes any material a homeopathic medicine. Homeopaths and the people who believe in the system believe that more a material gets diluted, the potency of the medicine increases. That is the reason why they go diluting it 30 times and beyond. They even go to 200C or 1M, which is 1000 times diluted. Yeah, it just gets sillier and sillier. So that is what we are going to check via an experiment. So here are the equipments that I am going to use for my experiment. There are 30 test tubes labeled 1C to 30C, a test tube holder, a few shot glasses, a litmus paper test, potassium permanganate, and of course Harpic, my homeopathic medicine. I'm also going to use 2 syringes. The left one is 10 ml in capacity and the right one is 2.5 ml in capacity. So let's start the show. So I'm going to take the first test tube here. It is marked as 1C. I'm just going to take 9 ml of water and pour it into that. In fact, all the other 29 test tubes that you saw earlier, they are all already filled with water. I just did it to save time because otherwise it would be too boring for the viewers. So I'm just taking out 9 ml. So as you can see, it's 9 ml. It's just above the 10 mark. I'm just going to pour it into this test tube. Close it with a cork and just let it rest. Now comes the most important part, which is Harpic. This is a totally unopened bottle. I'm just going to price it open and I'm going to pour the Harpic into this shot glass. As you are aware, Harpic is used as a toilet cleaner and it is highly dangerous if you consume it. I'm just going to syringe 0.1 ml out of this using the syringe that I have. Each gradient in the syringe is 0.1 ml, total capacity being 2.5 ml. So as you can see the blue color there. I'm just going to drop it into this spoon so that you can see what 0.1 ml really is. This is what is going to get mixed 30 times to make this medicine. Imagine it. Now I'm just going to take a litmus paper and I'm going to just dip it into this Harpic, and you will see whether it is acidic, alkaline or plain water. As you can see, it is highly acidic. I think it corresponds to number 2 or number 1 of the litmus paper range. Now I'm going to take one more drop of this particular liquid. Let me just open the first test tube. Okay, easy does it there. So I'm adding 0.1 ml of Harpic into 9 ml of water. Now this is not easily visible because Harpic, when mixed with water, becomes very light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some potassium permanganate to it. Now that will add some color to it. Now potassium permanganate, as you may be aware, is also highly dangerous if ingested or inhaled. So in reality, I'm actually mixing 2 harmful chemicals to make this one homeopathic medicine. So this is where we do the shaking, which is called the succussion. So as you can see, it is turned bright purple. I'm going to take this and I'm going to pour it into another shot glass. The reason why I'm pouring it into the shot glass is because it is easier for me to syringe out from a shot glass rather than a test tube. I really don't want to lose any material particles. Yeah, right. So this is the second test tube. This is 2C. I'm just going to take 0.1 ml again of the liquid from 1C, and I'm going to put it in the second test tube to make 2C. Of course, I'm going to shake this afterwards. Now for those people who might already be bored of viewing this, remember you have to watch this 30 times. So what I will do is, once this is completed, then I'm going to speed it up and then get right to 30C. So I've shown the procedure 2 times. Now I'm going to speed it up after this, and I will see you at 30C. Welcome back. There you have it, the final test tube. This test tube that I have in my hand contains Harpic and potassium permanganate diluted 29 times as 1 part in 100 parts of water. Shaken 29 times and stirred none. If you're wondering why I'm attempting to do this silly experiment, watch on. The most exciting part is just coming right up. I'm just shaking it. Let's go. Shake it like a baby. Shake it like a baby. Yep, I think I've done it a bit more than 10 times just to increase its potency. Now this is the highly potentized Harpicum toiletalis, a highly potent toilet cleaner or homeopathic medicine which will cause me to have the symptom of drinking undiluted Harpic, such as putting me in a hospital or giving me a violent diarrhea at the very least. Let me just use some litmus paper to test if it is still acidic. As you can see, it is pale green, which is what you will get if you put litmus paper in water. Okay, now it's the time to drink. Cheers, guys.
Look at this dude. Oh, no, 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 no.
So that's the experiment, folks. If homeopathy is right in its principles, I should get all symptoms of poisoning as I have just ingested a harmful chemical after increasing its medicinal power and vitalistic energy 30 times. If that is the case, then this might be the last video on this channel, and I wish to thank all my subscribers for watching my videos so far. If it is not, and I come knocking on your YouTube notifications very soon, then rest assured it is categorically proven that homeopathy is a complete fake and a scam and not a cam. I think you have seen before your very eyes that homeopathy is a reckless fraud. Now some people may say that I have done some manipulation during the time I speeded up the video for you. Well, I am not a homeopath, and data manipulation is usually done by them in order to prove that their medicine works, as seen in many studies. So for those doubting Thomases, I am putting a link to the entire video in real-time speed so that you can understand that I have followed the right procedure all 30 times. So why was I so sure that this experiment would not kill me or make me very sick? Because I trust science and not pseudoscience. Science has categorically proved that there is something called as Avogadro's number and Avogadro's limit. I have already explained this in my previous video called Delusions about dilutions. So if you want to know more, you can see that video. Avogadro's limit refers to the concentration below which a solution becomes so dilute that it is unlikely that any of the original molecules are present. More precisely, we can define the limit as the concentration at which there is only one molecule per liter of solution. Since there are 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 atoms in a mole, after 12 dilutions of any homeopathic medicine mixed in 1 part by 100, there would not be a single molecule of the original substance that would be present in it, as it would have crossed the Avogadro's limit. Then the solution that would get further diluted would be plain water with no single molecule of Harpic in it. I was so sure of this science fact, and hence I was sure that nothing would happen to me. That is why I trust science instead of holding a belief like people who believe in homeopathy and other pseudoscience. Now people have come up with different justifications as to why homeopathic medicines work even after the Avogadro's number. Samuel Hahnemann himself was skeptical of this fact, but he firmly believed that it was a derangement of the vital force or dynamic energy in the body that causes diseases. In his book, Organ of Medicine, in Aphorism 11, he explains it. He equates it to the force that keeps moon in Earth's orbit or how magnets attract iron. Poor chap, who lived in the late 1700s and early 1800s, did not have much clue about how these things work. He also believed that the medicinal energy in the solutions fixes the issues to the vital force. You can see his words from his book right here. But then, as science developed further, people started to question the homeopaths. So they came up with different justifications in order to paint their text correct. First, they said that water had memory, which means that water molecules are permanently imprinted with the memory of the compounds they have previously interacted with, and this information is transmitted to new water molecules upon dilution. So there are some serious issues with this justification. If that is so, why would the water only remember the good things? What about the bad things that it came into contact with, like when it flowed through rivers, canals, sewage, drains, toilets, etc.? And there is another question. Homeopaths use distilled water for dilution. If we do agree, for the sake of the argument, that water does have a memory, wouldn't distilling erase that memory? Wait, there is more. The reason why homeopaths latched on to this whitewashing was because of some specific properties of hydrogen bonds in water molecules. But studies have revealed that the supposed memory lasts only for 50 femtoseconds, that is 10 raised to 15th of a second. Appears that water is extremely forgetful if you consider the actual science. When that lie had no further legs to stand upon, they latched on to a study that the IIT Bombay did in 2010. In the study, the research group, led by a Professor Bellare, used electron microscopy to show the presence of nanoparticles in homeopathic medicines. Their findings could have provided a material basis for their therapeutic action, without resorting to any mystical energy or supernatural powers that was believed to exist till then. So many homeopaths started to sing this tune, but once again the tune went out of sync as a study was done in Belgium, where it was not possible to reproduce the findings of the study done by IIT Bombay using much more sophisticated technology than electron microscopy. They could not detect any nanoparticles after a 4C dilution, so that claim too fell flat on the face. Today, wherever it exists, homeopathy exists based on anecdotal evidence that this medicine worked for me, or my father took this for blood pressure and it reduced within 10 seconds, or my aunties, sisters, mother-in-laws, cousins, friends, what disappeared in 1 week, etc. As you have just witnessed in this experiment, after listening to me for almost 5 minutes past the experiment, I am perfectly hale and hearty, and this proves that homeopathy is nothing but plain water or alcohol mixed in sugar pills. If it contains any materials after 12C when made using the centesimal method, then it has to be contaminants in water. This time I am stressing my usual goodbye dialogue. Until next time, it's bye-bye from Pale Blue Thoughts.